I want to speak just briefly, family, on the white supremacist Charlie Kirk's assassination. And what we have going on with that family is what our great brother Malcolm X used to say, a case of the chickens coming home to roost. So I don't feel sorry for Charlie Kirk, not one bit. Charlie Kirk has said several disparaging things about black society over the years, including, talking bad about our iconic, legendary brother, the late great Martin Luther King Jr., to talking bad about George Floyd. So I don't, feel sorry for Charlie Kirk one bit, because I don't know what anyone else expected to happen. Because when you pump out, hate, you're going to get hate in return. That's why on my platform, I choose to pump out love, in the same way when you pump out love, you get love in return. Yeah, I go at white supremacists, but I don't, paint, all white society with a broad paintbrush, with the same paintbrush, in the way in which, Charlie Kirk tried to demonize and paint all black society as, being degenerates from birth. And that's a bunch of nonsense. I don't respect that. You know what I mean? And you could bet your last damn dollar that it was one of his fellow white supremacist brethren that did the deed. You know what I mean? And you don't hear Trump, talking about going into these white supremacist towns, these white supremacist enclaves where they, breed these mass shooters and degenerate activity. They're a breeding bed for violence. You don't hear about him talking about going in there, with these militarized troops. And that's a bunch of nonsense. You know what I mean? And, some of Charlie Kirk's last words, from me watching that video was somebody asked him about mass shootings. He tried to flip the narrative to, gang violence as a way to, paint a negative stigma over black folks. So, yeah, I don't respect Charlie Kirk. He was pumping out a lot of, negativity towards black society, and when you pump out hate, unfortunately, you get hate in return. I don't know what anyone else could have expected, So, yeah, with Charlie Kirk, what we have going on there, family, is like I said, what our late great brother Malcolm X used to call a case of the chickens coming home to roost. Just my thoughts on the matter. Peace.